Welcome back to DreamHack Winter 2012 to the Logitech CSGO Championship. We have another special guest, which is full of them this evening. Some would say we're full of it as well. We have Hunden from, I was going to say Western Wolves, because I've done that twice today already. From Copenhagen Wolves. I've just complimented them on the new badge as well. Welcome along. Great to have you here.
Yeah,
and congratulations through to the quarterfinals. It was easy, right?
Pretty easy, to be honest. Just great.
So honestly, did you expect to come along and win all 3 games and qualify so straightforwardly?
No, not at all. When we saw our group, we was very, very afraid for playing all these teams. We didn't know much about them, so we're just happy to stay at the first place today.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to roll some clips. So if we could have the clip ready now for the Copenhagen games, we'll put the clip up while we're talking to you as well. Who, in your opinion, out of your team has played the best today?
Curse, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Very sad about they didn't win any matches today. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame for them, isn't it? I mean, that game that they had, I don't know if you saw any of the draw that they had, did you?
I have no idea, but
they lost.
Oh. Wow, it's getting loud.
It's getting loud back there.
Yeah.
They lost 2-13 on T side of Nuke against Gosu. Then they were up 13-1 on CT side, and then lost the final round. And then the loss against you, where I think you won a save round towards the end of the game, where it was like 13-13. Yeah. Must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, but when we played them, we didn't use that much strats.
Yeah, no, of course it's.
Yeah, so.
But still, for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess they.
I mean, they were only regardless of you giving your full or not, they were still only a few rounds of winning. I mean, you would have won the group regardless, so it wouldn't have mattered. But for them, it would have been big because they would have had a chance to advance.
Exactly.
So, of all the teams that you played against, I know you said Curse already, but are you surprised that the Brazilians went through that group as well?
Yeah, a little bit maybe, but not that much because all 4 teams could win that group.
Yeah.
Even Gozo if they had a better day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they had a very strange day, didn't they? Sometimes they looked fantastic, sometimes they looked pretty horrible. I get they were sort of inconsistent, whereas you guys have been very consistent all day. You've just played your game and got on with it.
Yeah, before the event we were watching a lot of the demos from the other teams on stream, so we knew what they were going to do, all the teams, so we just had a better day.
Yeah, you definitely had a good qualification as well, beating a Nexus coming into this as well. Did that give you a bit more confidence and you thought, yeah, maybe we are Denmark's #1 regardless of that Fnatic team? Forget it.
I'm actually going to jump into that one because Nexus has had some pretty good results internationally, but then they always just get ran over by you pretty much in every, it keeps happening every month where they get a couple good results against really good teams and then they lose against you again. Is there, do you think you have a mental advantage over them, or what's the case?
Yeah, when we played CSS, we often won against them when we played them on LAN. I guess they're a bit afraid of us. Me and Lay, we played together for 1.5 years, so they know what we're going to do when we play against them. And all of them are old Glaives mates, so he knew what they're doing when they're playing. So I guess they're pretty afraid of playing us at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly seem so. Let's have a look at the clip then from earlier on in the Group B match. If we could have that up and running. Earlier on was against the guys from Brazil, of course, when you were playing on Train. And Glaive played well today, I thought. Yeah. Had a good game. I don't think there was anyone in your team really that had a poor day. I mean, you were struggling a bit with the frags, if I might say so.
Oh.
But it's not all about frags, is it? It's about the whole team playing, calling the strats, and changing things. I also noticed on Train that what you were doing is you were sending 1 down towards Ivy a lot and sending 4 inside, and that seemed almost, you did that a lot, but it worked almost every time.
Yeah, when we did that, we did it a lot in CSS.
Yeah,
so.
this is another example of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually an interesting thing you bring up. You said that you did it a lot in CSS. The maps being very similar in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, how much of an advantage and strategy-wise does that come into play?
It's a big advantage, to be honest. All the 1.6 teams like ESC and Fnatic have a lot of problems at the moment. We played Navi 2 weeks ago, and they are very, very bad at the moment because they haven't played the CSS maps before, so they have to adapt a lot from the CSS teams. So.
It's about predominantly the smoke positioning and the flashbangs as well, learning the different types of them, because although they've done it in 1.6, it's completely different in Source, but they're much closer to the Source flashbangs and smokes, aren't they?
Yeah, but I guess if you look on NIP, they have adapted a lot in the gathers. They have played a lot of gathers before they started making strats, so they are pretty good now, and they have adapted it.
This is a nice great ending to the round. Nico picking up. He had a number of clutch rounds like that. I think it was 3, maybe 4, and he won 3 of the 4 that he had, but they were 2v1s. He was a big player today for you.
He was very good again, pro gaming today.
Yeah. And what do you think of the double AWP strategy on train?
What?
The double AWP strategy. I don't know if you saw it earlier. Curse were employing 2 AWPs on both sides. It seemed an odd decision to make, but that seems to be like the American sort of tactic, if you like. That's how they're going to play.
Yeah.
It's not something we see a lot of in Europe, though, is it?
That's true. Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I have no idea.
I think Very Games is just about the only team that ever uses more than 1 up. It's just a big risk financially, especially like we talked about with Kogu, how the money kill reward is money reward for kills is so low for an up, so it's really hard to make that money back. So it's just a big risk if you buy it.
Yeah.
And early on in this game, it was 5-5 at this point. This was it was a close game, wasn't it, early on? But I mean, they were on T side. You were on T side. Did you think, we've got 5-6 rounds, we're okay, or do you still try and carry on, push on, and get more rounds?
Well, this train map is pretty different from the CSS one, so 5 rounds is not enough for a T team on this map. So we knew we had to win the T side before we could win the match. So it's pretty hard to play CT and train at the moment.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Even though the results have said that actually 57% of all the rounds are won by CTs. So statistically, it's a big CT map, but it's not quite that simple, is it?
No, not really. But when you play against good teams, it's often the T that will win the round because the AK is much better in this game. So
interesting.
Maybe that's the reason why I see.
Didn't Exist say earlier on that the M4 was better for him?
Well, that makes sense because Exist, he is the highest ranking with the M4, and everyone else, they prefer the AK.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is. But again, it's just getting used to the recoil and everything like that. What's kind of interesting too is just watching. You had mentioned that the terrorist side still doesn't always necessarily. They have a harder job on train. We see the same type of things that kind of happen in Counter-Strike 1.6, where it's all about the strategies that are implied. And seeing these 2 teams, and you say that transitions straight into Counter-Strike Global Offensive as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks.
And congratulations on a good day. Top of your group. You won't be playing NIP in the quarterfinals. That's good news, isn't it?
That's good. That's very good. I'm very happy at the moment.
You might get another good team, of course, because it's going to be a random draw, but there'll definitely be a runner-up, won't there?
Yeah, let's actually see what he thinks. Who do you think will advance from the other 2 groups tomorrow?
What?
Who do you think will advance from the groups tomorrow? So C group has 3D Max, Very Games, and Hawks,
don't
and then
forget,
a team from the BYOC qualifier.
There's only 1 spot coming out of Group C because Very Games are already through, right? And that's the way it works.
Maybe, but I hope we will play against one of the Danish teams in the first quarterfinal.
Well, there were 4. There were 4 Danish teams here.
And Fnatic was just not good enough. But tomorrow, I guess both teams will go to the playoffs. So I hope we will play one of them.
Oh, do you think 3D Max will advance?
Maybe Hawks is pretty good, and you are friends with the Hawks guys. So
I'm brothers with one of them.
I really hope that 3D Max will lose to the Hawks team because they have really surprised me in practice when I played them.
Yeah, 3D Max have been on fire, haven't they, recently online?
I really hope they will lose.
If they can bring that kind of form, but if they can bring that kind of form to this on land, they're going to be really strong tomorrow, aren't they?
2 of them have never go to big events, and they have an old man on the team.
Hey, nothing wrong with old men.
And Redeye
just
is
want to
also
put that
very
out
old.
there.
So.
No, Kogu hit some great AWP shots earlier.
It took him a while to get into the game.
Yeah,
though.
well, it takes us a while to warm up. That's all it is. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck tomorrow. Copenhagen Wolves are through to the quarterfinals. And don't go anywhere. We've got the last part of the show coming up. We'll bring Threat back out, and we'll talk all things Group C and Group D after this very quick break.